In war, truth is the first casualty. Aeschylus. At dawn on July 29, 1364, John Hawkwood, an English mercenary, launched a daring raid. His target was an army of sleeping Florentine mercenaries. The enemy commander quickly rallied his men and prepared a counterattack. But just as the defending army was ready to fight, Hawkwood's forces turned and walked away. This wasn't a retreat. It was a calculated move by the condottieri, mercenaries for whom war was a business. For much of the 14th and 15th centuries, these condottieri dominated Italian warfare. Their motivations were not about glory or conquest. They were driven solely by profit. Italy at the time was a patchwork of city-states, each competing for power and prestige. Wealthy rulers, tied to either the Catholic Church or thriving trade empires, vied to outdo each other. This competition fueled not only the Italian Renaissance, but also countless military conflicts, fought almost entirely by the condottieri. Many of these mercenaries were veterans of the 100 Years' War. When a truce was declared in 1360, some turned to raiding and pillaging. Their exploits led them south to Italy, drawn by the riches of Catholic churches. Savvy local rulers saw an opportunity. Instead of fighting these bandits, they hired them. This created experienced armies without the cost of training or outfitting local citizens. These mercenaries worked under detailed contracts, known as condotta. These agreements outlined terms of payment, plunder distribution, and even non-compete clauses. War became another dimension of business. Individual condottieri moved freely between armies, always seeking the highest bidder. Loyalty was fleeting. Contracts ruled all. Hawkwood himself fought for Pisa one day and their rival Florence the next. For the condottieri, alliances were temporary. Their strategy reflected their motivations. Skilled in military tactics, condottieri avoided unnecessary risks. Battles rarely ended in decisive victories or defeats. Peace, after all, was bad for business. Inconclusive clashes ensured a steady flow of income. Prisoners were typically released to fight again. This wasn't mercy, it was strategy. Contracts could also turn these mercenaries into ruthless killers. In 1377, Hawkwood led the massacre of a famine-stricken town that dared to revolt against its rulers. Over time, foreign condottieri were replaced by native Italians. For young men of modest means, the life of a mercenary offered an escape from farming or the church. Some leveraged their military influence into political power. A few even founded ruling dynasties. However, the condottieri's dominance couldn't last forever. Their methods became outdated. The rise of gunpowder weaponry and large, state-sponsored armies from France and Spain rendered their strategies ineffective. By the mid-16th century, Europe had entered a new era of warfare. The conniving war games of the condottieri came to an end. For more videos, please like and subscribe.